Hi everyone, Tom Slivick with Jim Rooney. How you doing, Jim?
Hello there, Tom.
County Assessor.
Yes.
Okay, so the state responsibility area fire fee, the bills are coming down. We've done several stories on this. It sounds like CAL FIRE is coming up with a list for the, I guess the state is going to be sending out these bills.
The State Board of Equalization
Okay.
is sending out the bills. Yeah.
Those are the people who handle the taxes, aren't they?
You know, this has me confused because the State Board of Equalization was for making sure taxes were equalized. I always thought it was the Franchise Tax Board that collected it. So this is something a little bit new to me anyway.
Okay, well, it's a little bit new, but this these fire fees have been on people's radar for probably a year now, and they've been being fought at RCRC and basically in the rural counties where this is being, are being affected the most.
Sure.
And it sounded like in our stories as well that San Diego County was ready to, as soon as the first bill came in, I believe it said, then we're going to probably start our lawsuit.
Sure. They were. I was on a phone call with them just the other day, and they want to fight this. They're getting about 100,000 bills. Amador County is getting 11,569 bills. San Diego is getting an awful lot. But they can't file a lawsuit until somebody's received a bill because they have to wait till somebody's been harmed, so they say.
I think all of us have kind of learned a little bit about like the laws and standing and things like that with the Obamacare and going to the Supreme Court and everything. And of course, a lot of the fight on this is saying we think this is a tax.
Yes, there is the question here. The state is saying we're going to charge a fee. And a lot of groups are saying, that's not a fee, that's a government taxing people. And so if it was a tax, they would need a vote, and they'd need a 2/3 majority to pass it. They don't want to do that. Okay. They just want to implement their fee.
Okay, now I know this is California, so this is in the Supreme Court, but the Supreme Court kind of made it sound like, whenever the government wants money, that's a tax.
Yes,
they didn't make
I agree with
distinction,
you.
Did they?
So somebody said, no, we're going to charge a fee. And it was passed by the legislature. The governor signed it. So it's being done.
Okay. Now that's one part of it. Of course, one of the main parts about it is it seems like it might be a double tax or double burden on rural areas because we're already paying for firefighting. We're already being taxed as everybody else in the state.
Yeah,
and we're helping take care of our firefighting needs here, just like Jackson Police, fire department, right outside here, and if there's a fire, they're going to roll.
Something that gets under my skin a little bit is there are programs for flood control in the Central Valley. They have earthquake help on the coast. Well, and that's all paid for by tax dollars. Right. So now we have the fire prevention up here. Well, now that's going to be a fee on the people in the rural areas. Why isn't it being taken care of the same as maybe flood control in the valley or earthquake help in the coastal areas? Right.
I think what you're saying is, you're probably saying it very clear too, is it seems like no matter where you live in the state or wherever you live in the country, there's hazards that we all face, and that is probably a common thing that taxes are used to pay for. Like we're helping to pay when we pay our taxes for mudslides in Malibu.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
And I don't think there's fees in Malibu for them living in mudslide areas.
Mudslide responsibility areas, fees. Yeah. We all pay, most all of us, pay federal tax, state tax, Social Security tax, property tax, tax. Now they want to do something. They say, oh, by the way, we know you're paying all those taxes, but we're going to charge you a fee for government work anyway. To me, I'm a bit troubled with it.
Okay, so that's another area there, and like I was pointing out, we are supplying engines, firefighting apparatus, personnel to fight in these areas. As Pine Grove, all the Pine Grove, I'm sure, is in the SRA.
Sure.
And at the same time, we have right outside there, we have the Pine Grove. Fire.
Can I say though, there are this fee is supposed to be $150 per habitable unit. There's 11,569 in Amador County. However, if you're also in a certain fire protection district where you're being covered, they reduced the fee by $35. So many of the fees people will get, they won't be the 150, they'll be the 135. However, if you have a house and maybe an in-laws quarters, it's not just 115, it's 230, it's double the 115. Or if you had 3 units, potentially 3 times the cost. So then you have to ask, what's a habitable unit? And I think I know what it is. It's living area. However, who has determined if it's a habitable unit or not? Somebody has somewhere. And I'm going to tell you, I've asked a lot of questions from different agencies, and I don't know where they're getting the information.
Well, do they have access to your data?
They could if they paid for it, and they could have paid for it from a title company or from a company that sells the data. And I've asked that. Oh, I did ask one of the biggest providers in the state if they'd given the information to CAL FIRE, and they said no, they hadn't. They said they kind of would have liked to because they could have charged for it. So I don't know. And I have asked a lot of questions too,
okay.
So I'm confused.
Okay, and I guess concern for this, I mean, we're all concerned because of the probably the way it's being done, or whether it is a tax or a fee. But the other idea is when you complain, or if there's a complaint, they're probably going to come knocking on your door or the county's door before they go to CAL FIRE or the state.
Yeah, well, if they have a problem, they really should contact CAL FIRE or the State Board of Equalization. There's a website. However, we understand that people will be trying to get these things resolved. And the assessor's office will help as much as we can. Mostly that's going to be directing them to the proper phone number or website with the state. We'll help, but we can't do anything about it. One of the things that's on this list, it said people who were the owners of the property as of July 1st, 2011, a year and a half ago, will be the ones receiving the bills. Well, in this past year, there's been a lot of change of property. There have been good prices. Things were low. A lot of sales have happened. So there's going to be a number of people who will get bills who haven't owned the property for quite a while.
Okay, so it seems like you have a problem with maybe talking to people and getting it, the law implemented with some local input to make it
okay, can I tell
easier
you,
to understand.
There has been...
You got 30 seconds,
okay,
all yours.
No, that's fine. There has been no contact with any assessors that I know of about how this is to be implemented or where the information has come from. There's been no consultation, no questions, no anything. We're in the dark here. But they did refer to the assessor's office as they used our data to determine who the owner was as of July 1st, 2011. And they state that. So we're going to get calls. We'll help when we can, but this is a state issue, not a local county issue. So.
Okay. Thanks, Jim.
All right, Tom.
We'll see you. Stay with us. More news on the other side of the break.
You're watching Amador County's #1 news and sports leader, TSPN.